Hello, and welcome to MRA's 5-Minute HR Feed, the podcast that delivers timely, practical HR insights in just a few minutes. In the time it takes to grab a cup of coffee, you'll gain valuable perspectives on today's most important workplace trends, challenges, and HR developments. I'm your host, Beth Kerstein, and we're glad you've joined us. Before we begin, a quick reminder that the information shared in this podcast is intended for educational purposes only and should not be considered legal advice. Now let's get started and explore today's topic. Today, we are talking about the proposed rule to eliminate federal EEO reporting requirements. I want to take a few minutes today to discuss a significant development that could reshape equal employment reporting requirements for employers across the country. On May 14th, 2026, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, or EEOC, submitted a proposed rule that would eliminate several long-standing federal EEO reporting requirements, including the EEO-1 report that many employers have been filing for decades. The proposal would also rescind the EEO-2, EEO-3, EEO-4, and EEO-5 reporting requirements affecting private employers, federal contractors, labor unions, state and local governments, and educational institutions. For context, the EEO-1 report has been a cornerstone of federal workforce demographic reporting since 1966. Covered employers have been required to submit workforce data categorized by job group, race, ethnicity, and sex. The EEOC has historically used this information to monitor workforce trends and support enforcement of federal anti-discrimination laws. While this proposal has generated significant attention, it is important to emphasize that nothing has changed yet. The proposal is currently under review by the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs within the Office of Management and Budget. Following that review, the EEOC would still need to publish the proposed rule in the Federal Register and allow for public comment before any final action could occur. This process may take several months. So, what does that mean for employers today? First, employers should continue to comply with all current reporting requirements. Existing EEO reporting obligations remain in effect until a final rule is adopted. Organizations should continue preparing workforce demographic data and maintain their current compliance processes. Employers should be prepared to file their EEO-1 data, as current regulations provide that the EEO-1 report must be completed on or before September 30th of each year. The EEO-1 report must be completed, or the rescission must be completed, by that September 30th date. Unless the proposed rule advances on an accelerated timeline, employers will still likely be required to submit their EEO-1 reports by September 30th, covering workforce data from 2025. Second, federal contractors should pay particular attention to developments. Although the proposal could eventually reduce reporting obligation, compliance requirements have not yet been suspended. Organizations that stop collecting or maintaining demographic information prematurely could find themselves unprepared if reporting requirements remain in place. And third, even if federal reporting requirements are ultimately eliminated, employers should recognize that workforce analytics and demographic data remain valuable business tools. Many organizations use this information to identify workforce trends, assess recruitment and retention efforts, evaluate promotion practices, and mitigate legal risk. In addition, several states have their own workforce reporting requirements that would continue regardless of any federal action. This proposal also raises broader questions about how workplace equity and compliance efforts will be measured in the future. Supporters argue that eliminating these reports reduces administrative burdens and compliance costs for employers. Critics contend, though, that removing demographic reporting may limit the availability of data used to identify systemic discrimination and workforce disparities. The debate is likely to continue throughout the rulemaking process. As HR and business leaders, our focus should remain on compliance, workforce planning, and sound employment practices. Regardless of where the proposal ultimately lands, organizations should continue collecting accurate workforce data, monitoring legal developments, and ensuring employment decisions are based on objective job-related criteria. The EEOC's proposal represents one of the most significant potential changes to federal employment reporting requirements in decades. However, it is only a proposal at this stage. The best course of action is to stay informed, continue meeting existing obligations, and be prepared to adapt as additional guidance becomes available. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for listening to MRA's 5-Minute HR Feed. Be sure to follow and connect with us for more podcasts and updates. If you're a member and have questions, you can always connect with MRA's 24/7 HR hotline by emailing infonow@mranet.org or by calling 866-474-6854.